Yo, what up YouTube? This your boy Food Junkie coming at you again with another video. This video is going to be about the Jessie Smollett situation and the results of the case. I made a video earlier, several days ago, probably maybe a couple weeks ago, about this case and about not jumping to conclusions and not judging anyone until all the evidence is in and the case is closed and the results are in. The results are in. The case has been dismissed. Jessie Smollett is a free and clear person. There was no charges found against him. There was no actions found against him. There was no deals made. All was made was that he had, I guess based on the reports, they said that they took account of his community service that he did previously, and he forfeited his bond. The bond he had initially was $100,000, which means that he had to come up with $10,000, so he forfeited $10,000. People are saying, well, if there was no deal, why did he have to forfeit $10,000, just like him giving the city of Chicago a $10,000 tip? In the fact that he forfeited his bond has little to nothing to do with anything. It has everything to do with the fact that he was found guilty. Now, there are some people that are saying that, oh, well, they did it because they was getting pressured, or they did it because, or they dropped all charges because they was getting pressured, or they dropped all charges because they, were actually, trying to do the right thing. If that's the case, they would have at least found him guilty, or tried to find him guilty on at least one charge. You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense. Ambulance had to get by. I'm have to maneuver this situation right here that I'm in. I don't get found guilty. Shit. So what he did, well, basically what happened is that all charges was dropped. Keep in mind, he was being charged with 16 felony charges of lying to the police and things of that nature. Now, if they could have proved at least one charge, they would have pursued that one charge just to prove a point. You can't sit up here and think that you're going to prove a point or try a case in the case of public opinion and think that it's going to come out the way that you want it to come out or the way that you think it should come out. We as the public, let's be honest, are stupid. We are. We don't know what's going on. We weren't there. We're not Jessie. We're not the district attorney's office. We're not the state attorney's office. We don't know what's going on. We're not the police department in Chicago. We don't know what happened. Like I said previously in the other video, the evidence has not come in yet to the fact of what's going on and what he actually did wrong. All evidence that was leaked or shown will show that he didn't do anything wrong. Regardless if you think that he did or not because he lied and his story may have changed. People say, I didn't see his story change. I didn't see where things were missing in his story. What I saw was his people and the news media interpreting what he said, playing on the fact that first it was, okay, they had MAGA hats on. He never said that. He said red hats. Come to find out, they had red masks. They were white. Well, when someone said this is MAGA country, you will assume they were white. It's just an assumption. But you know what they say? We make an assumption, make an ass out of yourself and out of me. But, well, out of you and out of me. But the fact that those things were consistent to what he said. And then we saw the two brothers. Oh, well, he wrote them money. He paid them for, to attack him. I don't know what idiot or what fool is going to sit there and let somebody attack them, pay someone to attack them, you know what I'm saying, for publicity or for a bigger paycheck, hopefully. And that still doesn't make sense to me. How is being attacked by somebody going to make a show pay you more money? Can someone please explain it to me? How is a show, how is being attacked going to make a show pay you more money? Well, he wants to draw attention to it. He has a huge platform. He gets the attention that he needs to get drawn to things. He don't need to have his face messed up or his body messed up or beat up or possibly injured for life on some hoax. Let's talk about the two brothers. Kind of found out they have history of homophobic behavior and homophobic attack and homophobic slurs. Could it be that they didn't like Jessie Smollett because he was a black out gay man that was prominent, that was doing big things? Could that have been the case? Could that have been an issue? We don't know. This case would never be truly known by anyone other than the people that was involved in the case. We as the public can make all the opinions we want and have all the conspiracy theories that we want about the case, but we will never know what's going on with this case and what happened and what evidence they had. All we can do is make a judgment based on what we've seen in the media, and we all know the media. They persuade you. They want to persuade you to believe what they want you to believe. Media wants the public to believe that all black men are criminals and all black men are angry and hateful and deceitful and rapists and all these other things. So that's what they portray in the media. You don't hear about, the good thing that goes on in the media. You don't hear, the good thing that goes on in the black community with black men. Black single fathers raising their children. Black single men being adoptive parents or foster parents. Black men working 2 or 3 jobs to make sure that their family have what they need. Black men sacrificing for themselves for, the love of their family and their children. For their women, for their men, whoever you choose to sleep with. Who knows? Who cares? We don't hear about those stories. We hear about the stories when there's one black man that got into it with somebody else. How about the black men that get yelled at and berated, spit on and spit at, but don't attack back or don't fight back? Those stories aren't being held up in the media. When you look at the media, look at the news, you look at it for entertainment value only. And then you do your research based on what you've seen on that particular channel, that station, or in that episode, whatever the case may be. You never take anything for face value, because in this world, people want you to believe what they want you to believe. Don't even take what I tell you at face value. Listen to it, be entertained by it, and then do some research on it. I don't have an agenda. My agenda is just to make sure that people are awake and people are aware. And also to entertain you. My agenda is for you to be your best self in whatever form that comes in. By doing research, by having a clear understanding of what's going on in this world. By knowing who you are. That's my agenda. I'm not the media. Well, I guess I don't know. I'm not the media. Shit. I'm not the media. But I do have a little, very tiny platform that I can become that can grow bigger, and then I can become an influencer. Then at that point, I need to be mindful about what I say and what I put out there. But even now, I need to be mindful about what I say and what I put out there and how I deliver information to you. Because I can't be held responsible for how you take something. All I can be held responsible for is what I say and how I say it. There are certain media outlets that thrive to put out false information, to put out a false narrative, to put out information that make, a certain demographic or socioeconomic person or group look bad, look like something that they're not. We need to make sure that is something that we take into effect. Stop going out of blurriness. So when we watch the media, watch the news, watch certain outlets, what's not, we need to always do that with a grain of salt, because we never know what the true agenda is. What was the true agenda of Robin Roberts doing an interview with Jessie Smollett? What was her true agenda? To be the first one to have inside scoop on the story, or to actually truly hear what happened to him and put his story out there? What was Gayle King's true mission in the whole R. Kelly interview? Was it to get his side of the story and find out what's going on, or was it to try to embarrass him? what was the whole thing with Oprah and the Escaping Neverland documentary? What was the true purpose of that? You know, this is not something that I'm saying because I believe that these people are innocent or what they did was right and or wrong. It's just that you have to always question people. We're all human. We all make mistakes. We all have an agenda. We all do things that benefits us, that makes us money, that, you're saying, put us in the best light that we possibly can be in. And if that's putting someone else in a worse light, so be it. Regardless if we grew up watching Oprah for the 25 years she was on TV. She's a human being. It doesn't make sorry. Ooh, shit. Idiots. My bad. You know, it doesn't make, you know, saying her some media god to where she can never tell a lie or that she can never, you know, saying do anything wrong. No, it means that she was on TV for 25 years. She had an appeal that kept her there for 25 years. And people use that because people that's backing Oprah, with all the money and influence that Oprah have, the people that's backing Oprah, that backed Oprah for all those years, trust me, they have more money and more influence than she does. You look at all these black athletes and these black celebrities that's out there in the public eye or in the media. Trust me, there's somebody out there much bigger, much more powerful, much more financially affluent than they are. And if they're running in the same circles as these people, you know, what makes you think that these other people don't have other agendas? You know, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, and I'm all about making sure that my community, the black community, you know, male and female, gay and straight, bisexual, trisexual, transgender, all of them, the black community is something that is strong. The problem that we have is that we choose to go by these ideological ideals. We choose to go by these ideas of what the Caucasian people want us to believe in, opposed to touching back to what we truly believe in our soul and our core. We are a very forgiving, we are a very calm, we are a very, you know, loving people. Because if we weren't, think about it, all the mess that we've been through over the past hundreds of years that we've been in this country, we would have rioted by now. We would have taken over, committed murders, you know, of other people, other races, in masses, just to get our freedom, if we were so angry and stuff. And that's the problem. They think that we are so angry, so hateful, and so evil that, you know, we will do the same things to them that they have done to us if we were ever to be in power. No, we just want to get ahead. We want to make sure that we are okay. We want to make sure that we are doing the best that we possibly can. We don't want anyone to hand us anything. We also don't want you to get in our way where we're trying to make our lives better, improve our lives, improve our financial situation, improve our educational systems. We don't want you to stand in our way when that happens. And when you do, you hear about it. All men are created equal. We're all human. Man. You know? We are the original people. Black people are the original people. So therefore, why do we allow copies and have versions of who we are tell us who we are? You can't do that. A copy can't tell me that I'm less than. Is an original Picasso worth less than a copy of a Picasso? No. They both have their value in their own way. But the original is worth millions. A copy may be worth a couple hundred. You know what I'm saying? But whoever owns the original or the copy, it has a value to them. When we choose to see the value within ourselves, people say we're uppity or we have this hate for somebody else. No. Why can I not love who I am, what I've been through, that made me who I am, that made me stronger, and still love and respect you at the same time? I have to love myself first. I have to be able to recognize the greatness within me before I can see the greatness in anybody else. You know, off this rant right now, well, not really a rant, but that's true how I feel. But let's talk about what I came here to talk about. Jessie Smollett. Jessie Smollett has been, all charges have been dropped. The case has been dropped. All 16 felony charges has been dropped. There's not one felony charge, and his record has been, and all charges have been removed from his record. Now, you know, if there was any way, shape, or form that the evidence proved that he did one of those things, he would be under the jail right now. And now the Chicago Police Department, an investigation team, the 12 detectives that was on the case, looked like fools. People say, oh, well, why would the guy from the Chicago Police Department come up there and make all these accusations if it wasn't true? We've heard for years how corrupt Chicago's police department is. We've heard for years how corrupt the city of Chicago has been. I don't know if it's corrupt or not, but I can say that's the city where I was born. That's the city that I love. That's the city that, you know, I would love to live in. They want to portray Chicago as this, you know, beacon of evilness and horror and black people living on streets and whatever. That's every city in this country. Any city that you go to, you'll find black, white, Asian, Hispanic, you know, Middle Eastern Indian people living on the street or living in impoverished areas. When you have a community that is underprivileged and undereducated and their jobs are not readily available for them, or nor are the skills to get the jobs readily available, of course you're going to find, you know, people doing the best they can to do what they can. Now, I'm not saying that people out there want to be criminals or want to be, you know, crazy or doing things that's against the law. No. But in certain situations, we must also think that people do the best they can with what they have. When you are been given rocks, after a while, you're going to do nothing but throw the rocks. You know? When you've been given, you know, the good things in the world, education, economic opportunities, you know what I'm saying? Financial stability, things like that. Of course, you're going to do, well, you should want to do the best you can with those opportunities and those things. But when you're not given those things, whatever, you then work with what you have. Sometimes within the system, sometimes outside of the system. You know? But this whole Jessie Smollett thing, it kills me when I hear, especially when I hear black people saying, well, he's guilty, he needs to be prosecuted. For what? What is he guilty of? I'm sure if I listen to you long enough, what you say to me will sound stupid, will sound ignorant, will sound ridiculous, will sound unbelievable. Stop always trying to see the bad in everything that someone do or someone says, and just try to see the person for who they are. Listen to the stories with the sense of understanding, not to try to break it down or decipher it for your own selfish and greedy needs. Everything that man said is exactly what the evidence has shown. Everything that he said, well, because what he said, he didn't say this is Trump country. He said this is MAGA country. It's a big difference, and those little nuances like that makes a huge difference, especially in the court of law when you're trying to convict somebody. It's called nuancing. It's called nuances. Well, it's not. He didn't say they had red hats on. He said, I'm sorry, he didn't say that they had Make America Great hats on. He said they had red hats on. Red hats and red masks. Same difference. It's a subtle nuance, a subtle difference. Well, it's not, but the point is, it was red, and it was a head cover. Mixed with the fact that this is MAGA country, was not, is something that would lead people to proceed to say that, oh, well, yeah, they had on Make America Great hats on. More likely than not, they were white. Just like in the black community, when we hear about a mass shooting, we don't think black people do that. The Washington, D.C. sniper case that changed our minds, but even to this day, when we hear about a mass shooting, we pray that they're not black, but we say, oh yeah, we don't do that. That's what they do. And more times than not, it is what they do, not us. The movie, no, I'm silly. But yeah, there are certain things, there's certain stereotypes out there that we have against white people. We don't truly commit hate crimes as black people because we know how it feels to be marginalized and oppressed. Not saying that we haven't never done that, but we statistically do not commit hate crimes as black people. As black people, we don't commit school shootings. We don't commit mass shootings. We don't do terroristic acts. You know what I'm saying? Statistically. Not saying that there can't be a black person who does it, or there won't be a black person who do it, but statistically, when there's a terroristic act in this country, or there's a hate crime in this country, it's not committed by a black person. It's committed by a white person. It is. That's just what it is. There are certain things statistically that black people just don't do. Or not known for doing. Now, not saying that 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 100 or 1 out of whatever, it may happen. But when you hear the story of a bomber or a mass shooter or something like that, the first thing you go to is not a black person. Now, when you hear about a drive-by, that was horrible. When you hear about a drive-by, yes, it's been said so much that we do that's the first thing that your mind goes to. Oh, it has to be black. Oh, it was a black neighborhood. When you hear about financial crimes, you think of white people. When you think of violent crimes, such as a drive-by or a murder, something like that, the media has put that in your mind to think of a black person. When you think about welfare, you think about a black person. While that is so untrue, because statistically, we are the lowest person, one of the lowest people on the totem pole who gets public assistance like that. As far as welfare like that, white people are drastically higher for getting welfare and committing welfare fraud than black people are. This country is so messed up on how they think and what the media wants you to think and how the media portrays certain races and certain people as not to tell this story. Stop believing everything that you see and you read, and start actually doing some research on everything. Look at studies, look at statistics, look at things that people don't want you to see. Ask questions, do some critical thinking, critical reading, critical researching for yourself and on your own. And if a story don't sound right, it may not sound right, whatever, but doesn't mean that it's not true. There's things I hear every day and see every day that doesn't make sense to me. A lot of questions I ask on this camera. I ask you these questions. It doesn't make sense. I'm not going to sit there and judge someone because it doesn't make sense to me. It's not what I would do. It's not how I would live. It's not how I see things. I live my life seeking understanding. I live my life trying to get to the bottom of my own understanding, not what somebody else wants me to believe. And I said, I don't know what happened with the Jessie Smollett situation. I have no idea what happened. All I know is that he was not found. All I know is that charges was dropped. 16 felony counts was dropped against him after a grand jury, voted to indict him for him. People said, when you go to the grand jury, there's hardcore evidence showing that you're guilty of something. No. Grand juries are wrong all the time. How many people has been exonerated because the grand jury and the real jury and the court of law was wrong? Evidence didn't prove that they did the crime that they was committed of doing. It happens all the time. We are so quick to judge and to point fingers and to pass judgment on people while it's not because we want to get the scoop or want to be right on something. Stop trying to be right. How about being a good person? How about being an honest person? How about being the best person you were meant to be? Stop judging one another, whatever. Stop trying to put your fellow man down. your fellow brother down. You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense. Just ran a red light, idiot. You know, I passed judgment just then. Oh, well, he was an idiot. He ran a red light. That's a fact. I saw that with my own eyes. You know, it's just that it makes no sense to me that, you know, every time I turn around, someone's trying to belittle or besmirch someone's name or say what someone did that didn't have no proof of. Now, if there was proof saying that this has happened, I'd be the first one to be on this video camera saying, yes, he's guilty. But just because the story doesn't sound right to me doesn't mean it doesn't make sense. A lot of things people say don't make sense to me. A lot of things people say, I feel they are lying because it's not what I will personally do. But my feelings is not always accurate. You know what I'm saying? My feelings are not always the Bible. This is their Bible. It's mine. It's how I feel. And I have to be truthful and honest with my feelings to myself. But it doesn't mean that everyone else has to believe the way I believe or see things how I see them. I'm putting up to my job now, you guys. I just want to get on this camera. This went longer than I expected it to. I just want to say Jessie Smollett has been not found anything. He has been, all charges have been dropped. Jessie Smollett is a free man. He forfeited his bond, which means he basically gave, you know, he let them keep $10,000 of his money, which is a drop in the bucket for him, especially if you're making $66,000 or $65,000 per episode. Per season, and the season contains about several different, you know, about 20 episodes, and you know, $10,000 is, you know, a sixth of the time, about 10 minutes of your time. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But if you like what I say, like the commentary, feel free to go to my channel and peruse it. If you like what you see there, subscribe, share, comment, and like. And as I always say, love yourself, love someone else. Respect yourself, respect someone else. Until next time, have a great day. Peace.